What's going on, everybody? I'm going to start the timer. It was too late. All right. Everybody, I'm super excited to talk with you today about how to find the right cash buyers, okay? Because that's what this call is about. It's about finding the right cash buyers. And I got something that's going to blow your mind, because it blows my mind when this happens. When you are trying to sell your deal, when you're trying to wholesale a deal or sell to one of your investors, you have specific criteria. You can look at a deal, you can see if it makes sense. And sometimes deals don't make sense. And you're like, here scratching your head. You're like, why is my cash buyer buying this? Why this doesn't really make sense? And that's something I want to talk to you guys about, because this is why you need to be able to have good relationships with your cash buyers. We're right now we're closing on a deal. We're making $12,000 on a deal that doesn't make any sense to me, or doesn't make any sense to like a lot of other cash buyers. But for example, for some reason, our cash buyer on this deal wanted this deal, and whether it's location, whatever, he just really wanted it. Okay, and the numbers don't check out. So I don't know if any of you have ever passed on a deal where you're like, I don't know if I want to waste my time. I don't know if I want to lock this up. But if you have those type of relationships I'm talking about with your cash buyers, where you can ask them and find out what they're looking for, you can close more deals, because not every deal has to pencil out. For me, it does. If I want to flip a house, or if I want to buy it subject to or anything, it's got to make complete sense. I don't want to be that risky with those type of deals. But this cash buyer that we're doing on a subject to deal, most cash buyers that I talk to want to put down 10% of the purchase price. They want to put down as little as possible. They want it, when it comes to subject to or creative financing, they want to put maybe, let's say, $5,000 down, 10,000, 15, 20, 30. Like that's kind of the range they want to be around. So this cash buyer, we're assigning this deal to one of our cash buyers, and he's doing around $102,000 down on this property. He's going to fix and flip it. So let me show you guys. When I run my numbers for creative financing, I use this nifty little calculator. But anyway, there's different types of creative deals. There's seller finance, when the person owns their property outright. There's subject to. So on this one, like on subject to, most people want to be at a 20% entry fee, which that means that like cash in to get into the deal. They want to bring in about 20%. So if the property is, and they want to be less than 20%, right? So if you're above that, so let me give you an example. If this house, for example, is 175, and let's say your assignment fee is like $100,000 for something crazy like that. They're bringing in too much money down. They're like, no way, I wouldn't do that. And obviously that makes sense. Like you wouldn't pay $100,000 assignment fee on a house that's worth that much, unless you got it like super low. Let's see, like for example, cash to seller. Like if the seller, they needed over 50K. That also makes the entry fee, the cash required to get into the deal, over 20%. So all I'm trying to say is most investors that I deal with want to be less. Most cash buyers, they want to be less than 20% of cash required to get into the deal. Okay. So if that doesn't make sense, we can explain it a little bit further on another call. But all I'm trying to tell you guys is that on this deal that we're making $12,000 on, it's way more than 20% to get in. So I just want to get this through your guys' head, because obviously if I would have just gone through the traditional, like, okay, it doesn't meet the 20% rule, I'm just not going to work this deal. That's not how we're able to make $12,000. What we're able to do is say, hey, this is in an area that we have a couple buyers that we know really like it. Let's reach out to those buyers and see if they'd be interested. One of our guys was really interested. There were offers around 60. They were willing to do 60 down. Another one was 84. And then he was like, look, I'll beat all those. And we're like, well, can you do, it ended up getting bid up to like 102. And he's like, yeah, I can bring that down. So, if you struggle to sell wholesale deals, or you struggle to find buyers for deals, if you're just going just by like the numbers, just completely, it doesn't always work out like that. That's why relationships are very important in this game and knowing what people want to buy. So that's what I'm trying to preach and tell you guys. I'm not saying lock up any deal and blast it out because you never know. That's not what I'm talking about. This is not a deal that we locked up with the seller. This came from a real estate agent that we were able to network with, and we said, hey, we have some buyers that we know who are interested in the area. Can we just run this by them? And he's like, yeah, sure. We didn't blast it out. We reached out to the buyers we know. And that's, again, what I teach and I preach is say, hey, build relationships with cash buyers, know what they want, and then reverse engineer, painless, do the painless way, and just reach out to them on deals that you think they'd be interested in. Okay. So again, made $12,000 and on a deal. It's closing right now. They're signing right now at 4:00. Well, it's a little past that, so it's done. But just wanted to let everybody know that, because again, if you aren't working with cash buyers to know what they want, you're going to miss out on deals if you just go strictly by the numbers, because sometimes something might not make sense for you or 10, 15 other cash buyers, but it'll make sense for that couple specific buyers that love that area. They have different strategies. They don't need to make cash flow. They don't need a cash flow, for example, or they're looking to flip it. So let me show you how I use batch to find buyers. Okay. For everybody that's, going to watch this. Let's see. So we go here. So my property is in St. George, Utah. Okay. This is where we have a lot of buyers that are interested in buying creative. So this is how we would do it, right? We would go here to, let's just say this is where the property is located. We would go to, actually, I like this new property search that Batch has. So let's do that one. I'm going to type in St. George, Utah. Okay, let's go here. Okay. So what you can do to find cash buyers that are buying actively right now is you can go and you can mark around the property that you have. You can do a little square like that. I like to go see what's on market, and then I like to see what cash buyers are buying in that area. And you can, this filter basically just says, okay, hey, this cash buyer flipped the property in this area and he's trying to sell it through a real estate agent. Then you can call the real estate agent. You can see right now that this is a flip. I can't click it. It's going to show too much info, and YouTube will flag this video for just giving too much info out. But yeah, very, very simple. So I would call that agent and say, hey, I have a property right around the corner from the one that you had listed. I see that you represent a cash buyer, or maybe you're the one that bought it. Are you looking for any more? I have a subject to deal, or whatever your deal is. Very simple. And then you just got to hop on the call, have that conversation, and you can skip trace the buyer and, talk to them directly. But I like working through real estate agents. I sell most of my deals through real estate agents. So this has been a really quick call, but I just wanted everyone to know, look, again, if you base everything off of like the number 70%, if you're doing 70% minus ARV, 70% of the ARV minus repairs, minus your wholesale fee, you're done for. Like, you're probably gonna do one deal a year, just because there's so many people. I can beat that formula like every time. I have buyers that will pay way more than that. So if that's what you're doing, you might get a giant deal just because someone's like, you got someone that was willing to sell you at that price. But most of the time they're not going to. So don't use that formula, especially nationwide. That doesn't really work. There's so many different markets that the price points differ. So, but if you are basing it off of like a formula where you have people that want to make like an 8% return on their investment, like I'm telling you guys, like on the subject to deal, it didn't make sense on the entry fee. It must be something like he wants to keep himself, or it doesn't. Again, I don't know. But through having the relationships and asking them what they want and bringing them specific properties to your cash buyers that I just showed you where to find right here on this screen share, you can do deals that didn't think you could do. Now, last time I'll say, that doesn't mean just lock up crappy deals and waste everybody's time, waste your time, waste sellers' time. I'm referring to when you see a deal that an agent has, or you have, or you can even tell the seller, hey, I might have some people who might be interested. I'm not going to be able to buy it at the price you're wanting, but do you mind if I run this by some of the people in my network? That's it. Okay. Because I'm not going to tell you guys to waste everybody's time again and just promise things you can't do. I don't think that's the right thing to do, but you can through your relationships, maximize the amount of deals you can do. Like I said, a 12K deal that doesn't make sense or pencil out for me, it's 12K. So if you guys find this useful, what you need to do is go build relationships and network. Go to RIAs, go talk to title companies. Like I teach people how to build those relationships, but like just if in a nutshell, just got to talk and build those relationships by providing value, talking to buyers that are actively buying in specific areas and find them deals. And the CEO, yes, bro, everything is going well. And thanks for tuning in. And yeah, like I got to say, guys, every week, just take action. There's deals to be had right now. And it's crazy. It blows my mind sometimes, deals that we can get across the finish line. It's like, okay, that's interesting. But it all happens from just knowing what your buyers want. So don't neglect that. Don't just focus completely on sellers and not have your cash buyers line, because you can do more deals if you know what people are buying. That's the end buyer, the cash buyer is the client we're trying to serve. Sellers, yes, but it's more of the cash buyer that pays us. So anyway, peace out, everybody. This was a quick video. I just want to let you know that it's important to know your cash buyers and their criteria, so you don't pass up on deals that they would buy where you could have made 12K. 12K is nice, right? Like on something that I didn't think would ever happen. Anyway, peace out, everybody. Have a great time. And, hit me up if you need anything. Peace. See you next week.